Hello guys, in this video I am going to explain you about scanf function in C programming language. For that you can see I have written some part of the code. So this is the hash include stdio.h is a header file which contains the definition of the scanf function. This is the hash include conio.h header file which for declaration and definitions of CLR, SCR and getch functions. So now let's begin with scanf function. Before I explain anything about it, I should show you the syntax of scanf. First you can see is the word scanf and then the first parameter, that is the control string. The control string refers to a string containing formatting information. It consists of individual group of characters with one character group for each input element. Each character group begins with a percent sign followed by a character that indicates data types of the elements. Now, what are these things? What are the characters? I will be explaining while using a scanf. Let me explain you the whole syntax. As you can see, the next parameter is argument list. The argument list represent individual input data elements. Argument indicate the address of the data element within computer memory. The arguments are written as variables where a variable is preceded by AND symbol or ampersand symbol. For using a scanf, I need a variable because scanf is used for user input. Input data can be entered into computer's memory from standard input devices such as a keyboard by means of a scanf function. This function can be used to enter any combination of numerals, single characters, string, etc. So in my case, I will be accepting a integer data from and will be displaying that number. So for doing so, I need a variable with a data type int. Let me name that variable as num. Alright. Now for accepting a data, I need to print a message. So for printing a message, I will be using printf function. Inside that function, I will be writing a message. Alright. Now I will be using a scanf function. So scanf, and the first parameter will be a string which will have a percent symbol, and D stands for integer data elements. For float we can write %f, and for character we can write %c. Now in my case I will be accepting a integer data, so I will be writing %d. This %d, %f and %c are format specifiers which specify the format of the data, and then we have to give a comma and then the address of the variable. Now our variable is num, but we want the address of num, so we will be writing a address of symbol which is ampersand symbol. Now this scanf function defines that whatever integer data will be accepted will be stored into the address of num. So for printing the data, I'll be again using printf function. I'll be printing a message, entered number is colon, and then I will be again providing the format specifier. Now my format of num variable is integer, so I will be again giving %d. Alright, and then I will be giving a comma, and now I will include the variable name num, not the address of num, only num, so that the data in the num variable will be replaced with the format specifier %d. Now let's execute it. One more thing I want to tell you that any declaration of variable should be placed before the CLR SCR function. You have to keep in mind, otherwise it will give you an error. So now my program is running. Let me specify a number such as 45. Now here is the message and the number 45 stored inside the num variable. Press enter to exit from the user screen. Alright, this is the usage of scanf function. Now let me give you another example of scanf function. So I'll be writing a whole different program. In that I will be finding the average of three numbers. All three numbers will be saved in three variables, that is n3, n2 and n1, and these three variables have a data type of float. So now let's write the code. First I will be displaying a message to the user to provide three numbers. My purpose of designing this program is to show you that how to use scanf functions for accepting more than one variable. So now let's use scanf. Now since the user will be providing three numbers, I will be providing three access specifiers. As you can see, I am giving access specifier as %f because my data type is %f for all the numbers, and then address of n1, address of n2, address of n3, which should be a comma separated list. And then I have to display the output with the message average is. Now average of three numbers will also be a floating point number, so I will be providing format specifier as %f and then comma, and then I have to calculate the average. For calculating the average, first adding all the numbers, so n1 plus n2 plus n3, and I will be dividing all the addition of numbers with 3. So now here is an expression which will generate an output, a floating point output, and it will be displayed with the format specifier %f. Now let's run the program. Alright, now our program will accept three numbers. So let me give 2 space 4 space 5. Average of 2, 4 and 5 is 3.6667. Press enter. That's all in this video. I have understood properly the functioning and usage of scanf function. If you have any doubts, you are free to comment me all your doubts. I will be try to answer you in your comments, or I will be creating a new video depending upon the doubt which you have. Thank you.